Do we know how hot something has to be cooked to kill the virus? Does freezing have an effect on the virus?
So it's a really great question. And this is another one where it's like, all we know, it's like the caveat of this, all we know is based on other illnesses and similar illnesses, other coronaviruses. And so there was a paper that was published in 2013, I think it was 2013, that looked at inactivation of coronaviruses at certain heats. And what I can say is that those ones, not COVID-19, but those other coronaviruses, heat at a very specific temperature for a pretty good amount of time. So heating something to 149 Fahrenheit or 65 degrees Celsius for 3 minutes gave a 5 log reduction. So a 5 times 10 fold, so it's like 10,000 fold reduction of the virus particles in 3 minutes. That's different than what we would say for like salmonella and chicken, where I could say cook it to 165 and you'll get that same reduction of salmonella instantly. We don't have data to extrapolate that. So probably the hotter it gets, the better. But literally today, we don't have that data, and we certainly don't have it on COVID-19. So,
and what about freezing on those E. coli and salmonella, which those aren't viruses, those are bacteria?
Yeah. So
and on the related coronaviruses, what's the effect of freezing?
So here's the bad news on freezing, I guess, is in a laboratory, we freeze pathogens to preserve them. That's what we do. We suspend them in something and we freeze them so we can then do analysis. We can grow them later. We can preserve those cells. Freezing actually has very little effect microbially, and on viruses, almost none at all. So it's definitely not a protective process. So I mean, that's one of the things that we do pretty extensively is
freezing.
Yeah. One thing you haven't asked about.
So if we want to preserve the virus, we might think of freezing, but not killing it.
One thing that you haven't talked about or asked about is, well, what can we do? And what we do know is that alcohol sanitizers are really effective against this virus and these types of viruses, that there are a whole bunch of compounds that we use in disinfectants that are also good for other coronaviruses, and we believe are also good for COVID-19. Again, we're in this gap of we just identified this. We haven't had the time to actually grow and do the experiments to test to see what can really kill it. All we're doing is going on our best available science, which is on something similar but not the same. But EPA has a list of disinfectants that I think new numbers over 200 now, that they say this is registered for efficacy in coronaviruses. So if we're going to use something on this list.